to DIU Escape Room Reviews. I'm Don.
I'm Phil.
That's Phil. And we're here about escape rooms. This is going to be episode 6, I believe. And now we're jumping to a more current, one of the most current rooms we just did. Instead of trying to remember months ago, we're going to remember like weeks ago. Well, something to that effect anyway.
It's out of order. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, we're just going out of order. We're not going by rooms. By this time, we now have 29 rooms under our belt. And by far, we are not experts at escape rooms whatsoever. We just love doing them, and we want to give our thoughts on them. Again, excuse my voice. We were at a concert, and I blew my voice out. So, what it is, what it is. We're going to talk about Don't Panic. They're in Vernon, Connecticut. Their website is going to be right here by Phil, probably. Don't Panic, JustEscape.com.
I think it's a cool name for
It's a really cool game.
an escape company.
Yeah. This place is advertised as 3 escape rooms. But they have 2. One they kind of take out one puzzle or 2 puzzles in order to have more kids can do it with their parents. Right. So that one's called The Lost Teddy. We did Hide and Seek, which is the next level up from The Lost Teddy.
In the same room. In
the same room. And we did The Missing Remote. We'll talk about Hide and Seek first, since that's the room we did first. And again, I think we just booked this on a whim. Like, we were just looking for something to do, and we did it.
They were the only ones that
were actually available, right. And again, we're an hour's ride away. So we're actually willing to travel to anywhere to do the rooms. So if you guys have any suggestions on rooms, you can comment below or email us at DIU Escape Room Review at gmail.com. So we'll have that right along the bottom here somewhere. So you can email us there. Or if you got our personal phone numbers, you can text us and say, hey, why don't you guys go check that out? And then we'll do a review on it.
Yeah.
Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek. This one is you babysat your niece and nephew this past weekend, and now it's time to bring them to school. Timmy and Sarah thought it would be funny to hide your car keys in their mess of a room, and Sarah thought it would be even funnier to hide Timmy's favorite action figure, which he needs. He needed it for show and tell. You have 1 hour to find it all. Can you do it? Now, the website itself rates this 6 out of 10 difficulty. It's recommended for age group 17 on up, and it's 2 people to a 6-person room. And escape rate has been 39%. Top 3 escape times have been 40 minutes with 1 clue used, or 40 minutes 20 seconds with 1 clue used, 40 minutes and 50 seconds with 1 clue used, 42 minutes and 55 seconds with 0 clues used. So they had 15 minutes to spare, 20 minutes to spare, pretty much. And that's pretty good times. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We went right down to the wire.
Yep.
We beat it with seconds to go.
Legitimate beat.
Yes.
Legitimate win.
And this room was different than other rooms we have done. First of all, we were able to make a huge mess in the place like we were little kids again. That was fun.
Yep.
The
room is a kid's playroom.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
You walk in, they close the door, there's shelves of toys and teddy bears and everything you can imagine that would be in a little kid's room. That's what it is.
That's what it was. And the clues were, the puzzles were tough, but they were fun. And there was a few puzzles in there that we've never done before. I don't want to give too much away with it, because this was a good room. I liked it a lot. you had to find the action figure and you had to find car keys. We had found the action figure pretty quick, and the car keys were a little tougher, but we found them.
Yep.
And or it was vice versa, I forget. But we legitimately won. So I forget what our score is now, but up to this point. But again, 29 rooms. I think that was room 20 and 21. We did something to that effect, maybe even a little higher. You can look at our Facebook page, DIU Escape Room Reviews on Facebook. You can see all our pictures and whatnot. And this place was actually in an office building. Here's another thing I want to say. When you're renting out places, it'd be nice to see that there's a sign outside.
Ran into this 3-4 times already.
Exactly. Where this place is, it's a corporate building. They're renting the 4th floor of a suite. A suite on the 4th floor of an office building is what it really is. You go into the lobby of the room, the suite, which is like a secretary's office, and then you had 2 rooms. Try to advertise outside where you are, because we got there with like an hour and 15, no, about an hour before we even had to be there. And we didn't find the place. Even though the numbers were huge on the side, I would never have thought that was the place to go. It took us another 50 minutes to find the place after.
I mean, we were driving around to other parking lots. We're using GPS.
Right, and we're looking for shopping
online.
centers that have the sign there, because most of the places we go to are either in a building that have a big sign outside, or they're in a shopping center and they have the billboard marquee type thing that lists everything, and usually it's in that. Or you drive into the park. If it's not on that, you drive into the parking lot. It's above, and that's above the place. This was complete corporate place, and whatnot. And honestly, to me, it was very tough to find. I mean, you were driving, but we kept putting it into the GPS, kept taking us back to the same place, but it's like, it looks like it's an abandoned building.
Right.
It looked like an abandoned building. And I don't know, maybe there's something in the contract where you can't put outside signage. I don't know, but.
And then when we went back to do the second room, the building itself was locked.
Yeah, every single door.
Every way to get, we actually physically had to call the people and say
have them come down and open.
We were coming back, but the place is locked. You know.
But I think the person said it was on them to let the people know that they got to keep it unlocked because they're still there. But
that goes along with not being a storefront. That goes along with
right.
It's a corporate building.
Right. It's more of a nuisance than an annoying than it is anything else. Also, we did book the second room on a whim because this is in Vernon. It's an hour rides away. So why are we going to go all the way back to home just to go back out and book the room again and drive another hour just to do one room? So we booked the second room just to book the second room.
Right.
You know. And she actually gave us a deal on it, the lady.
She was very happy that we booked the second room.
Yeah, she was.
It was an owner-operated business.
Yes. Very nice lady. She designed both rooms.
Yep.
Getting back to the hide and seek.
This was a very fun room.
This was a very fun room.
It was, the puzzles were just hard enough, but the way the design of the room was, it had kind of a whimsical, funny kind of. You weren't taking yourself too seriously with the puzzles.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun, which is another reason why we wanted to do the second room.
After we were done with the second room, or first room, of course, it's you that comes up. She was going to give us her card. It says, the next time you book, we'll give you 10% off. It's like, nice. And then you're like, well, you have another room ready? And she's like, well, there's people in there. She says, all right, well, how much time do you need? 45 minutes or so. All right, we'll give you an hour. And we'll go grab something to eat. We came back. And she actually ended up giving us 20% off. Because it's $25 a room here. And we ended up paying $20 each to do the second room. So, and that was when we fell into being locked out and everything else when we came back to do the next room the same day. The second room we did. Oh, actually, let's rate the first room. One. How many stars?
I think it's a 4-star room.
Okay.
I liked it. I think it was very immersive, and I thought it was fun. And it wasn't anything that you drive yourself crazy trying to do.
Right. I'm gonna go 3.5. And this is almost like the first time we're disagreeing here. I thought some of the things I liked that there was no time clock in there, so you weren't paying attention, and they had to talk to us through walkie-talkies, which is okay. I don't mind that at all. Although she really could hear us through the door. But the other people doing the room next door, we never even heard them.
Right.
That was great. So maybe I'll be able to bump it up to bump it to 4. There was no outside distractions. We used all our clues, whatnot. But I would do a solid 4. Yeah, solid 4 room, because sometimes when the walls are adjoining, you can hear the other people on the other side, and I didn't even know that they booked. The other room was booked.
Right.
So, it was a kid's playroom. You walked in, you did what you know. You were able to make a mess. That was fun. You had to dump a whole bin of balls. I'll give you that little spoiler.
Yep.
And it was fun. So we'll move on to the second room now. So we're both agreeing on 4. The next one was called The Missing Remote. Now this room, let's see here. This room is based on puzzles themselves and does not have a theme. Are you up for the challenge? Can you is all in the capitals, escape in 60 minutes? This, they rated an 8 out of 10 difficulty. It's recommended age group 17 up, and it's a 2 to 6 person room. And I guess the best times, somebody beat it in 43 minutes and 56 seconds with 1 clue. Some team beat it in 49 minutes, even with 0 clues. But it's not also telling you how many people are on the team themselves. And then the best time, well, not the best time, but 50 minutes and 30 seconds with 1 clue used. This room, in my eyes, is by far the hardest room we've ever encountered.
I think it's right up there. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No.
I'm just saying it was very hard. And although it says from 2 to 6 person room, you really do need at least 4 people to do this room.
And that's coming from 2 guys that are very cocky about doing 4 to 6 person rooms with 2 people.
Right. And usually booking the hardest room. This time we booked the easiest to the hardest, and we didn't even know that. Right. I didn't read the difficulties on this when we booked.
But it's definitely not a 2 person room.
This room damn near killed us.
This, you win some, you lose some. This one beat us. We didn't just lose. This room beat us.
It killed us. It killed us. It damn near killed us. This is where we go back where we said in the episode before is where you should ask how many times objects are used before you go into the room. Most of the time, the person telling you if there's a story behind it, you have any questions, that's the time. Do you use props more than once? Do you use clues more than once? This, that, the other thing. We should have asked this because there was a lot in this room to do, and we started up great. We were going through everything. We were finding everything, and whatnot. But we really needed four people to do this room. We went through the whole thing. Again, this one does have a computer in it, and again, you don't like the computer end. This one made me not like the computers in it anymore either. I thought it was cool what they did with the computer, like
with the keyboard
wise, was really cool. We got annihilated in an hour. We weren't even halfway through the room with the 2 of us. And the lady's like, well, I could walk you through it, or I could just let you keep going. I said, all right, well, let us keep going. Let's see what happens. So we're sitting there, and we're trying to figure this all out. And we got pretty far. All of a sudden, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done. You wanted to keep going. You wanted to keep going. I'm tapping out. I'm done. This is a half hour after. So we're in the room for an hour and a half. And we still couldn't get any further than the one thing we did. So she walked us through the rest of the room. And again, you didn't want to give up whatsoever. I kind of forced you to give up on this room. Because I was like, all right, well, you're on your own. I'm done.
I knew that the last puzzle that we were working on, it wasn't the last puzzle.
No, I think there was 2 more puzzles to go.
Right.
But
there was no.
If we were able to get past that.
There was no way we could be, even having it explained to us.
Right.
There's no way we would have gotten past that puzzle.
And this goes to, again, past episodes we just did. Make sure your puzzles are clean and keep them updated. Like if it's a black light on the wall, black light marker, make sure it's not getting erased after stuff being rubbed on it. This type of thing. So keep that fresh. Not for nothing. I'm 5'4". You're like 5'4", 5'3", 5'4". Okay. Just because you're 5'8", this goes to show that just because you could see where the puzzle is, doesn't mean everybody's going to be able to see where the puzzle is.
And to have to look at something through another piece and line things up,
right,
you kind of have to be at that level.
Right.
And if you're not at that level, the person who built it was a very nice person.
Right.
She was taller than us.
Exactly.
It was at her level.
Right.
Having a stool there probably would have made a big difference.
It could have.
You know.
But also, too, what we had to use to look through that was 1/4-inch corrugated board of some sort, which casts a shadow. And to me, it's casting the shadow over the clue that you need. Why not just laminate a piece of paper and cut those holes out?
Or a piece of cardboard or anything that's flat.
Well, cardboard's the same thing. It was just as thick as a piece of cardboard. This was just like plastic board.
Yeah.
So if you just laminated the freaking piece of paper with those same holes cut out instead.
Yeah.
Then you can see
anything that's flat. Anything paper flat would have been
nothing that's
right.
just a little thick. Like
right.
I said, cardboard is a 1/4-inch thick.
Well, I mean,
so you're like poster board.
Yeah,
or something.
that's what
right.
I was looking for.
Right, poster board or something.
That's
but
what
this was thick, and because of the way you had to do this puzzle, the shadows to me didn't made the big difference that you couldn't. We wouldn't have been able to do this puzzle. Even with me standing back against the other wall, couldn't see what was going on. So we couldn't get past that. But she walked us to the room, and she's very nice. She came up with the whole idea. She's an escape room enthusiast herself, and decided she wanted to open one up. She came up with all the puzzles. Her husband put it all together. So this was truly owner operated. To me, this room was overthought.
I agree.
I don't want to say that the owner was trying to show off how smart they are, but it was just way overthought. And she had even told us that she had to take 3 or 4 puzzles out of there
to dumb it down.
To dumb it down more so people can escape. Because her friends and family were saying, as beta testers were saying, there's no way you're going to finish this room. Not a bad room.
No.
Not a bad room whatsoever. A lot of cool puzzles that we never saw before. But again, we had to reuse props for different puzzles.
Which we didn't know we had to do.
We didn't know we had to do. Yes, if you actually looking back at it and looking at everything's color coded. Again, but being colorblind too, which really didn't have that much of a difference on it. But I didn't realize we had to use this one prop on 3 different clues. 3 different puzzles, really. Which should have been mentioned at the beginning, that props could be used more than once.
It was the type of room that anything in that room could be used at any time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Which, when you're giving your introduction, that's what you need to say.
You need to mention that. Especially when the room doesn't have a theme, so there's no real introduction to it.
Right. I think it was a travel theme myself.
It could have been because we did. It was
a lot of stuff.
with travel. And a lot of cool. The way they did the puzzles was really cool.
A lot of really
brand new one that
neat
we
things
never
that
did
we hadn't
before.
seen before, or a different take on ones that we have
Right.
seen before.
And it was one of my favorite puzzles was one of the harder ones. Where, in all honesty, we did need at least 3 people to do that puzzle.
Yeah.
So, in all honesty, this room, if you guys are going to do the room with the missing remote, get 4 people at least. At least 4 people. 5 wouldn't hurt either. But 4 people minimum to do this room. It is a lot of fun. But again, this one killed us. Even a half hour after, we couldn't do it. We gave up. And she walked us through, and there was some other cool stuff as she walked us through. But also with the computer thing, there were some issues with that I didn't like. I wish there was a little more self-explanatory on what the computer was there for.
Yeah. We've done other ones that it kind of explained.
As soon as the screen came on,
Yeah.
it explained what you had to do.
Yeah.
So, just food for thought. It's just our opinion, my opinion, I should say. A little more explanation when it came to the computer puzzle, because the computer you actually used, it had three puzzles in it. I think.
Right.
One to unlock it, one showed you what to use on another one, and then you had to go back to use it to get one more code.
Right.
So, so again, that. It should have been mentioned that things are going to be used more than once, and it was never mentioned. Although we should ask for it. I mean, we're how many rooms in, and we should start knowing this stuff, which
Yeah.
we are starting to know now. And again, it was only us 2 doing it on a whim. At least 4 people for this room. I'll be honest with you, even with the hide and seek one, I would say honestly at least 3 people. We did it with 2, but at least 3 people.
A third would have been helpful.
Would have been very helpful, I think, because it just would have been one more set of eyes on some clues.
Yeah.
But definitely 4 for this one. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's about it.
All right.
That's about it.
Star rating.
You know, I don't know. I want to give it a 0 because it beat us real bad.
That was the point of the room.
I'm gonna give it a 3 though.
I'm gonna agree with a 3, mainly because of the downsides that we had just mentioned with some of these puzzles. Because of our height.
Now I think if a lot of these things were corrected, and I think that they're a company that does change according to feedback. I think with a few tweaks, you're in a solid 4. I mean, it's not
I agree.
It's not like they were stupid puzzles, or they were they were good puzzles.
They were very good puzzles.
They were good puzzles. It was a fun room. It was just, it beat us.
It beat us bad.
And it beat us in a way that we never would have.
No.
Even with all the clues in the world.
Right.
We never would have.
We never would have. You're right. This one did have a countdown timer clock in it, which really didn't pay attention to that either because it wasn't bad. I'm going with a 3 myself because I think it was a way overthought room. And again, all the downsides that I mentioned before, meaning the height of the puzzles, explanation of some things could have been clearer and whatnot. People go out and do it yourself. Website will be right here at the bottom. Don't Panic is a very good place. But yeah, a solid 3.
Very immersive. You know, which is again a big thing with me.
Yeah.
You know, everything in both rooms felt right.
Right, they did.
Yeah.
They did. And everything went together
Yeah.
like it should.
Yep.
And even though like your word locks and stuff like that were a part of whatever you were if you had to figure out the letters, it was that way. And it was kind of a travel room, I would think, even though it says it's not themed. But so again, solid 3. Don't Panic, jusescape.com. Go check them out. Again, owner operated. And this room again was $25. So
I
not bad.
I really hope that they have another room in the works because I would like to see them.
I think they have to
Another one.
change. They only have the 2 rooms with the lobby.
Yeah, they might.
So they'd have to change a room over in order
Yeah.
to do it.
I mean, both rooms were a lot of fun,
They were.
and I would like to see them.
Get a
Knowing
little
what
bigger.
they know from room 1 and room 2, I'd like to see them put that into
Put
room
a
3.
room 3 together and see what happens.
Yeah.
But again, they'll probably have to take one out in order to put one in, unless they rent out a bigger space, which could be done. Who knows? But again, don't panic. JustEscape.com. Place is called Don't Panic. And thanks for watching.
Peace out.
Later.